Welcome, everyone, to the Flower Files podcast sponsored by Wildly Native Flower Farm. Here, everyone is welcome to talk with fellow flower lovers, including real perspectives from the farm, the flowers, and me, the florist.
From the messy day-to-day operations down to the details and even business perspectives, this podcast has a little bit of everything to keep it real. We know that life can get crazy and we don't always have the time to spend on what we love, so we are here to help you take a little time to indulge in nature. I'm Liza Getz.
I'm Lizzie Frey, and we are the team that makes this podcast. Every once in a while, we have a couple guests, this business thing, and what we are working with is called life.
Join us as we walk you through how to think outside the box, talk from the farmer's perspective, have honest conversations about florals, and how to run, well, life. So listen in.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, in the podcast section, and any of your other podcast platforms. You can also find us online at wildlynativeflowerfarm.com, and in an easy way, you can look in the show notes, and all of the information will be right there for easy access for you guys. Well, hi guys, welcome back to the Flower Files once again. So we have a kind of a podcast about, or this podcast is about a question that we've gotten pretty often before. And today it's Mom and I. Kenley is in deep with seeds at the moment, so we're taking the reins on podcast. But everybody asks us, how did you get into flower farming? How did you
get started?
Yeah, like how did you start a flower farm? Now I'll give you guys kind of the background of where I was at this point, and then Mom, I'm sure we have like your background, so if we could like paint you a picture.
Get out your paintbrush.
Yeah. I was in college, high school. It all just blends together. It all blends. At least from like, I'll say like I was in college when you got like serious about it. Not that it ever wasn't serious for you, but I feel like
I'm gonna grow some flowers and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Like
you started playing around with seeds when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like senior year, junior year?
No, God. Mark was still alive. Will was little.
Yeah.
We had just gotten the tractor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was 2017 was when I officially incorporated and did all of the LLC and all of the official business things.
Yeah. So it
was 2016 when I had grown that first year of just like, hey, I think I'm going to grow flowers.
Yeah.
That's when I had really decided I was going to step into it.
I kind of like at this time, Mom was excited about her seeds. I remember you had your trays in the stove room. Like you had your seeds that you had picked out. You had like all of this stuff.
Well, and it was a tough decision to try to decide what the heck to grow. Was I going to grow perennials? Was I going to grow annuals? Where was I going to put my money?
Yeah, were you going to do vegetables? Because I know you talked about that. Trees.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? I knew. So I went to school at Delaware Valley University. It used to be college, but now it's a university. It'll always be a college to me, for horticulture. I've always loved a garden. I've always been outside. I've always played in the dirt in some form or fashion, and always knew that I would want to do something owning my own business. But I feel like the word entrepreneurship wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing that I was like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be that. It wasn't, I didn't know that was what I wanted to be. I just knew I wanted to do farm stuff and grow things. And that's my calling. I get it.
Yeah. And you really fell into it too. Like it was, I feel like it was a really good, like natural progression. Not like I was there for, when you were in college, but at least from hearing the stories of when you were teaching and like watching you go through like that process too. You had like your greenhouse at school, like it was you've always continued to do the same thing but in different ways, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And I always thought to be a farmer it had to be fruits or vegetables. Like I just somewhere in my brain, because in my mind I was like, oh, to be a flower farmer you've got to live in like California, or you have to have like great property in El Salvador, or you know, I never considered the fact that it could be done here.
Yeah.
And I went out to dinner one night, actually, with my friend Cindy King, and I sat down and we were we were drinking a couple margaritas, and she's like, "Why don't you grow flowers?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Grow flowers." And I think when she had said that initially, she had meant like in containers to sell and things like that, but that wasn't
where your brain went.
No, and if I was a colonial, I would starve to death because my garden for vegetables has always kind of sucked.
Unless it's a potato.
I can grow some tomatoes. Like there's some things I can do. But when it comes to a large scale, I remember as a kid, oh my God, my grandfather, my papa, he had the best garden ever. And he would have stuff to the point where there would be like picking days. And then we would all work in the kitchen, and then it would all get put up in the freezer, and all through the winter that's what you ate, and it was amazing. I can't do that because something always happens. Something eats it, something breaks it, something kills it.
Deer, bugs,
groundhogs, other things,
squirrels,
your brother.
Yeah. I was gonna say, add that to the list. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can grow some things, but I can't grow acres and acres of vegetables. It's just, and the bugs. My God, the bugs and the pests that are like part of that are horrific. And I've always, like forever, ever since I was a kid, I've always grown flowers really well. And I really felt stupid that night when she was like, "Why don't you grow flowers?" And I was like, I don't know why would you do that in this area? And she was like, "Dude, grow flowers." And I was like, you know what? I can do that. And that's when I first started. And I was like, oh, I'm going to grow some flowers and I'll see what it's like. And I spent a lot of time experimenting with, because I didn't want to pull weeds.
Yeah.
That was my like, how the hell am I going to do this? And not have to pull weeds the entire summer.
Yeah, and not have like overgrowth for like eons of time. Like
fight it in the following year. Like, what does that look like? How does that work? I don't want to use pesticides. I don't. So I really started to go down the rabbit hole of what that looked like. And I tried black paper, like those big art rolls of paper. I tried those, and they would rip, and something would step on it because the area wasn't fenced, and the deer would walk, and then it would blow.
And the foxes too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So then I tried black plastic that is more traditional for vegetable farmers. And that bothered me from an environmental standpoint. I had worked on a vegetable farm for multiple years while I was in college. And they would have the black plastic mulch layer. It would go out. They'd have the whole season. And then at the end of the season, they would get a dumpster in to pull all that plastic and then throw it away. And I was like, there's something so wrong with that. Like, that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I found cornstarch fabric, and we laid it all by hand.
Yeah, I remember that year. That year was interesting.
It was, I mean, so we would rototill.
Very interesting.
We would hand dig out a ditch, lay it in, fill it in real quick, pray that the wind wasn't blowing to do the other side. And it's a great concept, but again, you've got weeds, so then you've got to I use landscape fabric, UV stabilized landscape fabric from DeWitt, which is amazing because it lasts for years and years and years. It's not like a pool cover where it lasts the season and the light breaks it down.
Yeah.
So we tried that for a while, but we were struggling with having consistent width rows because, and then you had to poke the holes in the plastic. Like, we tried so many different things, and we still stand by the landscape fabric that's been pre-burnt with the holes and the grid,
the
and
dragon.
all of that. It is like a dragon.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point we've really gotten to a space where we have enough rows to do what we need, and of course we'll always grow and Like we're growing in field space this year for sure, so I know we're still gonna have to burn
Yeah.
holes and everything. But I feel like we've been in a good space for, like, we have the rules, let's go, let's put it down. Like, because I remember for the first couple of years it was always, you have to burn 6 more bowls and you have to do this and you have to do that, and it was a lot.
I mean, I feel like the infrastructure of any business is one of the most difficult things to figure out. How do you step the growth appropriately? How do you break into the market and not overextend yourself? How do you like what do you do? I didn't wake up one day and be like, ta-da, today's the day I'm going to be a flower farmer.
No.
It's a lot of sweat and mud and weeds and standing back and going, well, that didn't work. When I first stepped into it, there were also a lot of things that I wasn't prepared for. I there's times now today when I look back at how naive I was and I go, wow, I didn't have a clue. But I don't know how you would have a clue unless you did it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I feel like you have like it was a really big lifestyle change in a way. Like, maybe not necessarily the pace, but I guess the flow of things, just because it's so timed. Like, I feel like when you were at school, we were always still in FFA and still running around and doing stuff. We would do concession stands on Friday nights or Thursday nights or whatever, and like it was
competitions.
Yeah, like there was always something going on, and because of that, I feel like it was kind of natural for you and I to kind of roll into this space of, okay, it's time to get up and go. It's like morning.
Yeah,
like we have a time limit. I think that's why we struggle with people, when we do hire, especially some of the college students in the summer that we know, and
well, people don't have a clue. They come in and they're like, oh, it must be so nice to just work with flowers all day. And it's like, yeah, welcome to the mud and the weeds and the bugs and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah, and the humidity, like rain or shine or humidity, not usually snow, but
not for you guys, but snow to me is such, like, people are like, oh, it's gonna snow, and I start like shivering in the corner because I'm like, shit.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of extra pieces that you have to work on with that you wouldn't expect. There's that part. There's, I sometimes have to, not have to, but just to keep like the flow of everything going. It's like 6:30 and I'm already out in the field, and people don't get in until I don't know, like,
it depends on schedules. There's different things that happen. But if there's a storm coming, if there's something blooming that we have to have a specific way, I think I have
especially before a thunderstorm.
Oh yeah. I think I have 4 weather apps that I'm constantly checking, and I'm subscribed to like all kinds of weather like pages because I'm constantly looking at the weather and constantly.
You and Kinley both.
Oh yeah, we're constantly trying to figure it out. What do we have to prepare for? In the wintertime, are the little mini hoops with Agrabah up or down?
Yeah.
Are the in the summertime, oh my gosh, that whole block has to be tied up because later in the week there's a potential for a thunderstorm and we don't want things to break. Or we've got to harvest really hard to make sure that we have the right things in the right place. Like,
yeah. Are we getting more ice than snow? Hey guys, Lizzie here. I bet you didn't know this about me, but I am gluten-free, and one of the things that I struggle with is going to the grocery store and finding the foods that fit my dietary needs. What I have been doing for the past couple of months is ordering from Hungryroot. Now, Hungryroot is an online company where you can order groceries off of their website. It's full of produce, crackers, cookies, to muffins, to meats, and all the different types of snacks and things like that. They have made my life so much easier in the process of finding foods that fit my dietary needs. There are filters that you can adjust, such as non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, paleo, different preferences and things like that. So what they have done for us, because they're such a generous company, the Hungryroot team has given us a 40% off discount code on your first box. So if you use the code FLOWER40, and that's capital FLOWER 40 at checkout, you will get 40% off your first box. I'm so excited to team up with these guys. They've made such an impact on my life in the morning and to my day-to-day life, and I hope you experience the exact same thing that I do. All of the information will be linked down below, including the link to where it should already be pre-applied to your cart when you hit the link and go to their website, and I will also add the code at the bottom for easy access in our show notes. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy your first box through Hungry Road. Like, that makes a difference. Are we getting freezing rain? So that makes a difference.
Yeah.
What's gonna be heavier? Like,
oh my God, is there hail?
yeah. Like, is there, like, what is gonna happen? Because it all determines how the plants react to it, especially because we have the little cool season plants out there right now, and they're smaller and they're tinier and they're doing their thing, but there are still sometimes where we lose a couple of them, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. So it's
So
definitely not
frustrating.
a 9-to-5 job. That's for sure.
No.
That is for sure.
Mm-mm.
And Lizzie, I think you're right. I feel like there's so many different kinds of teachers, but I feel like anyone who's in the career technology pathways has a different perspective because we're working with like industries. It's not a traditional classroom, like an English classroom. You come in, you have your lesson, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the CTEs, you're applying life skills, and then add on FFA to the ag program. And that was like, at least in our program, that was like crack.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, we're getting ready for competition. We've got dinners. We've got, like, we constantly had all of these things that we were doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've taken some of that knowledge, even in our podcast last week, how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of training with that with parents and conferences and things like that. So I feel like,
and even with like not award shows, but like the ceremonies and things like that, like you were, and you and other teachers were just a part of like public speaking and how to talk to people, because you get every single kind of walk of life that you could think of in high school. Especially public high school.
I mean, it's a lot, and understanding how to ask questions to help people get to what they're trying to explain. And then I don't know, like that, you're right, that constant, okay, we got to get up because we've got to be on the bus because we're going to competition. We got to get up. We have to be ready. We have to make sure everything's packed because we're going on a trip to go do what, like, and finding service, because I mean, that service was one of my core values in anything that we did with FFA. That was huge for us. And I feel like we've carried that forward in the business because we're always trying to figure out, okay, how can we give back? What do we do to help other people? What can we donate? What are the, like what are the pieces? I think that's important.
No, absolutely. And I think it's a really good thing that, if you're used to that kind of pace in life, it's helpful to get into it if you enjoy it. If you hate it, don't do it. If you're not a morning person, if you're a night owl, like that kind of thing, it's not gonna be for you. It's just not. You have to have the energy, and I don't know, it's just a different kind of perspective, because like you say all the time, like people come in and they're like, I wish I could be in here, and you just play with flowers all day. Like, well, when someone like you isn't happy with the flowers that you get, this isn't playing with flowers. Like, this is a service.
It's a business.
Yeah. Like, and when we play, air quote, is more than likely for Instagram stuff. Like
Instagram and maybe some styled shoots.
Oh, well, yeah.
But even then we have to conform to what the styled shoot vision is.
Yeah, and what they want.
Yeah.
When we have like complete control over anything that we want, it's our stuff turns out the best. At least for me.
Yeah.
Like when everyone's like, oh, I don't care, just make it pretty. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I understand that people are trying to like do a vision. I would rather have people, and most of the time I feel like we get this when they're like, I really love this kind of style, but I want you guys to make it your way or make it like this kind of vibe or however. It really helps us with like just customer service and perspectives. Like trust the people that you pay to work with you.
And I think that's a thing that we've also learned in working with customers. And that's why we've made changes to the website for certain things even. I mean, I'll never forget, we had a funeral arrangement that was ordered. We put together a funeral arrangement. It was soft in color and we delivered it. And the person who ordered it called me and they were like, I wanted bright. And you delivered something that was so soft and pastel. And I was like, well, I thought that's what you would want for like a sympathy thing. And she's like, no, I wanted it to be cheerful. So we actually, and there were no notes. She didn't, and I'm not blaming her or us or anything, but like it was our interpretation that funeral pieces usually are softer.
Yeah.
But now we've made it a spot in that ordering process of, what do you want? Do you want something soft and subtle, or do you want something bright?
Yeah. Is it for male or female? Like, or do they have a preference on what they loved? Like, like how does that work?
Yeah. So it's really about, I don't know. I feel like it's really about listening. It's really about listening.
Yeah.
I also think when we first started, building the confidence of knowing that what you're going to do is going to work with some of those varieties of flowers that you know are going to make it. Like, what is your highest chance of success? Because that only not helps you build revenue, it helps you build the infrastructure of all of the pieces that will help you when you then step into some of those harder ones.
Yeah.
We didn't grow dahlias for years for a reason.
Yeah.
We didn't grow Lysianthus for years for a reason. And there's lists of things that we didn't grow. I also was careful with sunflowers those first couple of years because we have so much deer pressure.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm setting up a dove hunting space and it doesn't matter if a couple get taken out. No, I was doing this for profit.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that space to make mistakes.
Even now we have to be really picky with like when we know that there are some things that do really well, and sometimes in this season it's not what people want, and there's like 50 million pounds of celosia when we need disc flowers.
Right.
So in the summertime when the zinnias are kind of kaput, or there's like a second rotation coming through and they're just starting to get ready, and the other ones are like sun bleached a little bit, the rain has gotten to them. Yeah. They've been cut a couple hundred times. Like they're done. You know, it's all about planning and what we need, because it's a business.
Yep. And looking at those rotations. And I mean, I've considered doing wholesale and growing on a massive scale, but we're 2 hours from any of the local suppliers.
Yeah.
Have I grown things and do we sell them wholesale? Yes. But I'd rather work with individual florists and not have that great big push, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
mean, like, we have to cut every single stem of this now or whatever. I like what we do.
Yeah.
I think
it's personalized.
I think wholesale is they come, they eat, they leave kind of thing.
It's a whole different beast. It's so cutthroat, and
and if it's not industry standard, like every year we have stuff that grows differently just because of the weather. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Not a damn thing at all. So I think it's important that when you're starting anything, think about when you start a new hobby or you start a new task or when you start a new anything, you think about, okay, you go to the store and you buy a new game. Like if you're a board game person or something like that. First thing you do is you read the directions. So to me, that would be like, okay, you want to start a business, make sure you get your education.
Yeah.
And then when you play the game, you play multiple rounds until you get the hang of the game. And that's kind of what we've done. We've played multiple rounds and every year, thank God in ag, it's a new start every year, and
Yeah.
it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But know you're going to make mistakes. Just try to make sure that the mistakes you make aren't super crazy expensive mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can't control all that.
Yeah.
Have a good support system of people around you. Sometimes the people who are closest to you will be the least support
Mm-hmm.
or the most support.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're the least support, sometimes they're trying to ask questions because they're afraid for you.
Yeah.
Not because they're trying to tear you down.
Yeah.
But because, or maybe they're just afraid in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But there's layers. There's layers to all of it. So it's okay to start small and do little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Make mistakes, figure it out, and then don't be afraid to take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we were growing, and then I bought a small hoop house. I put it in a place and then realized it was too far away from all the rest of the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So I dug it up and I moved it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no concrete or anything like that,
Yeah.
but dug it up and moved it.
Yeah.
All by myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just in the time that we've had, like, I know it's not, we've been in business for 20 some years. I don't know, we'll get there one day, but the amount of time and money and pressure that is put into just flower farming is insane.
I mean, pause for a minute. We started in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
We're 2 years away from 10 years in business.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was working part-time, or I was working the business part-time, and then I was working full-time as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the place where I was full-time with both and had to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. And that's when I kept looking at you. I was like, are you going to do this or do that? Because things had started to pick up, and I was like, we're going to have to start to say no to certain people,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to have to be done.
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
And I came home and I told Joe, my husband, I was like, hey, I'm going to quit teaching and I'm going to do this farming thing full time. And he was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. And this was like still when COVID was a thing.
Yeah.
And we were still masked up, and there was a lot of unknowns just in life in general.
Yeah.
So I think in a good but bad way, in a bad but good way, reverse that. COVID was kind of what pushed us
in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, because it changed so much in the teaching world. The kids had changed, like life was different. Like it
and I'm an outside soul.
Yeah.
You know, you were in my classroom. I was always like, it's nice out. We're doing a lab outside today. And I mean, I taught ag, so it was super easy to do whatever we were doing outside because it was real life application.
Yeah.
I think everybody's path in starting a business is different. Everybody has a different financial backing. We bootstrapped the majority of what we did. We would make some, and I would take that and plow it back into the business. And that has pretty much continued going forward.
Yeah.
But start with a little bit, and build up all of the pieces that you need.
Yeah. And do your research and know what you want to do with it. If you need help, wink wink, we have a freebie on our website. Let me pull it up real quick so I make sure I am telling you guys about where to go correctly, because I'm sure I could be wrong.
You can go to the website.
Yep, you're going to go to the website and you're going to go under the Learn With Us option, and it's loading because our website sometimes can get a little slow. So as of right now, we are updating this page. You can join the wait list, add in some of the courses and things like that, but over time, and if you go to our blog page as well, it should also be up there. But we have a little freebie guide of 3 tips about how to start flower farming, or 3 tips you didn't know about flower farming. And we go a little bit more in depth of not just, oh, you need this and this and this. And
oh my God, you know, the one thing we didn't even talk about is all the logistics of actually form the LLC, open the bank account, like all the actual business pieces. Mother of God.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is like that's a mom podcast. I didn't do those pieces. But I'll give you guys kind of like a short rundown. But the top 3 that we came up with was, 1, you're gonna need more than 1,000 seeds because that's what you started with in 2016,
Yeah,
and
I
now
was
we
so
probably
excited.
do what, like 10,000, if not more.
We do thousands of seeds.
Yeah, thousands of seeds, if not a
It's
day, that
insane.
Kenley plants. It was know your end goal of where you want to go, just because there's so many people that I want to do this, but they don't know like where they want to go, what they want to do with it, like what does that look like. You know, it can be stressful, and if you don't know where you want to go, how do you know what to do to get there?
Right.
So you want to do this thing.
But with that, I will say you've got to listen to your market. Your market is going to help steer where you go.
Yeah.
Because originally I started off saying, nope, I just want to do wholesale stuff. I'm just going to grow and grow and grow and we'll sell them.
Yeah.
And then the market was like, no, we want to do, well, they didn't want my flowers. They wanted the flowers that she put together.
Yeah, it was a really good, like, it was a pivotal point. I still remember that afternoon, like, to this day. I was like, oh yeah, we could totally do that. And Mom was like, okay.
And I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
we're doing this.
Yeah. And you need space to grow. You need some space. It doesn't have to be big. If you want to do something more intensely, you are going to need more space. But as starting off, there's some things that you can do. So take a look at our website. I will link everything into the show notes so that you know where to get the freebie. And there's another one coming. ... Oh, we've been working really, really hard on. And that one is all about cut flowers per growing season, specifically spring, summer, and fall. And we have other ones in the works too. So stay tuned. And
because I can't undo the teacher.
Yeah, no. And I would love to do a full podcast just on explaining like this in general. But you need something tangible to hold on to. So these are free. FREE. They're free. So go ahead and check them out, and then we hope to see you, hear you, and you hear us next time. I hope you guys enjoyed your gym run, your walk that you're taking, your run to the grocery store, wherever and however you are, morning, night owl, however.
I hope you're running to get ice cream.
Yes, as always.
I remember, be kind to yourself. It's okay to take that first step. I believe in you.
Yep.
You can do it.
Yeah. If we can do it, anybody can do it. Just saying. Just saying. Have a good day, guys.
Good luck. Have fun. Toodles.
Hey guys, just dropping a line to tell you about Patreon.
So I asked them, meaning Mom and Amber, what is Patreon anyway? Because I honestly had no idea. So we're going to explain it to you from our perspective so that you understand and so that I understand.
Because the first time I saw it, I was like, Patron, we're drinking tequila? Great. So Patreon is for less than a cup of coffee, those fancy coffees that y'all like, a day, you can sign up to become one of our members.
A little family.
Exactly. And what does that get us?
It gets us some freebies, some special episodes that other people do not get access to. You can interact with us on a special platform where we can ask you questions and interact with you. It's tons of fun.
Mm-hmm. And even on those special episodes, we might be less censored than we are already. And we're going to have a couple fun ones that we can just kind of throw in there and talk about and laugh and go on tangents and have fun. So I hope that you all enjoy it because we're going to have fun along the way. We're crazy, crazy, crazy excited.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Back to the episode now. Bye.
Gracias.